Good morning. Today we are going to learn about the scope of a variable. Can anyone say that what do you mean by scope?
So whatever you write
in the brace, in the parentheses, in the braces.
Okay, in a
So
normal
whatever.
way I can say that it is a boundary. Okay, in a normal we can say that it is a boundary of your variable. Like if you declare within this box one variable, the variable will be present only within this box. You cannot make use of outside of this box. Okay, like example, you have one box here which is called as A and B. Here you have declared an integer variable called C. Here you have declared integer variable called D. Okay, now whatever the variable you have declared in the box A, that can be used inside of the box B. Understood what I've said? Understood what you have said? See, there is one boundary of A boundary. You have another one boundary which is known as boundary called B. Or else than writing like this, here what I'll do, I'll change it. Here you have declared int C. Whether int C can be accessible within the A boundary?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now within this, I have written another one boundary, which is called as B boundary. The C variable can be accessible within the B boundary?
Yes, sir.
Yes. See, don't confuse the variable which is outside the box. Outside the another box that can be accessible within this box. Okay. Like example, here I have declared int D. Can I access this D variable within the A boundary?
Yes, sir.
Because
Yes, sir.
no, you cannot
No.
accessible like that.
That
See,
it should be accessible, isn't it?
no. Like example, this is one box. Int A can be accessible within this.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Now again I have another one box. Can I extract this int A and can I place in this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Rather than this figure, I'll explain you with the program itself for you, then it will be clear. First, I'll explain what are the different types of scope we have. There are three types. One is your instance variable. Second one is local variable. Third one is class variable. Okay. First, instance variable. Instance variables are nothing but the variables which you are going to declare within the class outside the method. For that, we are going to call it as an instance variable. Okay. Okay. Right click, new class. I'll create scope. Okay, I'll include main method and I'll finish it. Okay. Now, if I declare any variable within the class outside the method, for that we are going to call it as an instance variable. For that we are going to call it as an instance variable. You can check it out where scopes is a class. Within the class, main is a method. Outside the method, which is known as instance variables. Have you understood? Clear? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Sir, can you repeat it?
Okay. Instance variable where you're going to declare in the sense, you're going to declare a variable within the class. Whether int AB has been declared within the class or not.
It has been declared.
Yes, it is declared. Okay. Within the class, outside the method, outside of your main method, whether int AB has been declared or not.
Yes, sir.
See, don't confuse. Whether if I declare any variable within this parenthesis, that is your inside your method. Anything which I declare outside of this parenthesis, it is outside. Okay. So instance variables are nothing but the variable which you're going to declare inside the class, outside the method. For that, we are going to call it as an instance variables. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now coming to the next level of variable, local variables. Local variables are the variables which are going to declare within the method, that we are going to call it as an local variables. Okay, whether main is a method?
It is.
Yes, it is a method. So I'm going to declare C. This is how. The local variables are the variables which are going to declare within the method. Not only main method, it can be any method. Like example, public void method. Sorry. Here also I can declare a method like this, where D and C are your local variables, A and B are the instance variables. Understood the difference between your instance variables and your local variables? Students,
Yes,
have you
sir.
understood? Okay. Next method, next scope variable is called class variables. Class variables, whatever you declare in the method are there. If you add a keyword which is known as static, that variables are going to call it as an class variables. Understood? For any variable, if you add a keyword called static, then that variable is called class variables. Is it clear, students? Even if you declare static keyword within the method, that variable is also called as class variable. Okay. If you remove your static method, then it will be a local variable. If you remove your static keyword in the instance variable, then it will be called it as an instance variables. Understood? Yes or no? Bhavna?
Yes, sir.
Rakib? Understood?
Yes, sir. Understood.
Vishas?
Understood, sir.
Understood?
Yes, sir.
Rohan? Vikas?
Understood, sir.
Ranjit?
Understood, sir.
Okay, fine. This is the different variable scope of variables we have. Can anyone say that what are the three different scopes we have? Can anyone say that what are the three different scopes we have?
So instance variable, local variable, and class variable.
Class variable. Can anyone say that if where we have to declare a local variable?
Within the braces, inside the method.
Inside the method you have to say, because you should not say that within the braces. The braces can be within the class braces also. So local variable should be declared within the methods only. Okay, can anyone say that where you have to declare your instance variables?
Inside the class, outside the method.
Inside the class and outside the method, you are going to declare your instance variables. Can anyone say that static class variables? Can anyone say that how to declare a class variables?
Use the keyword static.
Using a static keyword. Yes. For that we are going to call it as a class variable. That scope will be within the class. Okay. Okay. Next. Whether can I access A and B variable within the class, within the method, main method?
Yes, sir.
Don't be doubtfully and say answer. Okay. Can I access A and B variables within the main method? Yes or no?
You can, sir.
Yes, we can extract A and B variables to the main method. Okay. Now my question is, can I access C variable to the class? Can I access C variable here?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, we cannot access. Okay, how the flow should be going in a sense like this. Where if you declare a variable here, that will be accessible here within this. If you declare a variable here, that will be accessible within this. If you declare a variable here, that will be accessible only within the scope. Okay. Hope everyone have understood the scope of variables. Okay, sorry, I missed it. I have specified a static keyword in the method. It should not access static keyword in the method. It has to be specified within the class only. Okay. Next, functions. What do you mean by functions? For what purpose we are going to use? Function is nothing but just a piece of code where we can perform some operations and we can return a value. Okay, if you want to perform some task, so that task you put it, some piece of code, you'll put it into the functions and format of functions, and you can access your function and you can work on it. Okay, function is nothing but just a piece of code. It is just a piece of code which performs some operation. Okay, can anyone say that? What is a declaration of your functions? How you are going to declare a functions? How to declare a function in the sense return type, function name, parameters, executable statements, and closing of your parentheses. Okay, this is how we are going to write your functions. Return type, function name, parameters, and this is your optional. This is your optional parameters. Okay, like example. This is your optional. What is happening? Okay, wait, parameters will be your optional, like return type, function name, and your executable statements. Okay. Okay, if we have addition of two numbers like that, we can have a return type, function name, and your parameters. Now we will solve one problem with this. Okay, now what I'll do, hope so everyone know the operators, arithmetic operators, plus, minus, star, and divided by symbol. So based on that, now I'm going to extract, I'll perform some operation using your functions. Okay. Now I have declared two variables which are called A and B. Now I want to perform addition of two numbers. I want to take an input from the user. If I want to take an input from the user, which class I have to declare here?
Scanner class.
Done. If I want to import, just place a cursor, import it. You'll get it, your scanner class. Now, if I want to take an input, like enter the value for A, if I want to print that statement, what is the syntax or what is the printing statement we have to use in Java? Rakshita, if I want to print something on a console, what is the statements I have to use in Java?
System.out.println.
System.out.println. Okay, enter the value of U for A, and I have given semicolon. That's it. Now I'll enter. Why it is showing a red mark here? Why it is showing a red mark here at the 10th line?
System, yes, should be capital.
System, it should be capital. Okay. Now, so I'll take it A is equal to S dot next int. Somewhere it went wrong. System.out.println, is it's correct. Okay, sorry. System.out.println will work only within the methods. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll take a method to enter your data. Public void read. Within this, I'll enter my data. See, now I don't have any error. System.out.println will work only within the methods. Okay, next. I want to take an input for value called B. So what I'll do, I'll place this again, I'll change it to enter the value for B, and here I'll change it to B. Now, this is a function. See, you can check it out here. It is a return type. Here we have a function name. Once we have done a function, what we can do, we will perform the operation for that. Okay, for that also I'll declare a variable called sum. Now again I'll declare another one operation. So public void operation. You can check it out here. They have a return type, we have a function name and the parameters. Sorry, we don't have a parenthesis, we don't have parameters. Parameters are optional. Okay, now what I'll do, sum is equal to A plus B. I'll write. Next, now I want to display. What I'll do, public void display. I'll use and now if I want to display something, can anyone say what is the syntax I have to use? I want to display the sum of two numbers.
System.out.println in braces you put sum is equal to and then plus sum.
Println sum of two numbers are colon. Next, what should I do?
Plus
Comma?
sum.
Comma or plus?
Plus sir.
Plus. Why? Because we have to concatenate the string with your number, so variable, so we are using plus. And then I have to specify the variable called what? Where the in which variable the operation value is stored? Sum. And save it. Okay. Now we have done read method, operation is done, display is done. Okay. Now we have to execute. If we want to execute, which method we should have?
Main.
If I want to main method. So what I'll do here, first I have written all the methods in one class. Later what I'll do, I'll take it another one class. New class, I'll write it tester scopes. Scopes, I'll write it. I'll include public static void main and I'll finish it. Okay. Now, I want to access the methods which are present in the scopes class. If I want to access that methods, what should I do?
Object creation.
Object creation. How you have to do object creation? What is the syntax?
Scanner obj is equal to new scanner system in.
Why do we require scanner class? You need to read an input, then you need a scanner class. In which class you have all the methods? Read, operation, display.
Scopes.
Scopes. How you are going to declare, object creation? How you are going to write your object creation?
Scopes S1 is equal to new scopes, a method
Scopes.
parent.
Scopes. See, when you're creating an object, you should think for which class I'm going to create an object. So for that class name, first you have to write it. Then you have to create a reference variable, then equal to new operator. Then again you have to write scopes, open and close parenthesis, give a semicolon. That's it. The object creation is done. This is your object creation. Okay. Now, if I want to access the methods which are present in the scopes class, what should I do? How should I access that? How should I access
S1
it?
dot read.
Based on the reference variable which you have created an object for that scopes class. So reference variable is S1 dot. Now you can check it out automatically, or all the methods are visible here, like display. Okay. Next here it will be read. Next it will be operation. See, operation is there. So if you want to work on it, just you have to create an object for that using your reference variable. Click on dot. Okay, now you say me first which method I have to access. Whether
Read method.
display. Why I should access only read method first?
First, we have to take the values of A and B.
Exactly, for that's why we are going to use read method. Okay, later S1 dot. Because which method I have to access next?
Sum.
We don't have an
Operation.
Yes, operation we have. Next we have to do. Yashas, can you answer which method I have to access next?
Display operation. Display method.
Display. Okay. Now you can check it out. When I run this code, first internally, one object will be created. Then for that object, it will check scopes class. Okay, it will go and search for the scopes class. Once it will enter into the scopes class, it will start reading line by line. First, it will read and variables. For that variable, it will create a memory in this memory. What is the variable? First variable name?
A, sir.
A. Later, it will create another one space within this memory called B. Okay. Later, it will create a memory for some methods to execute. So there are three methods. It created three methods. Okay. For this complete memory, I access 1, 2, 4, 5, 7. You think now this 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, where it is located, where it is stored? In which variable it is stored? It is stored in the variable called S1. Okay. This complete memory S1 is equal to this. So when object created is done, this memory will get existed. Okay. Now it starts. Okay. S1 dot read. If I want to read S1, I have to go to this particular location. It comes here, scopes class, and it starts reading. Okay, system dot out dot println. It will display here, enter the value of A, and it will wait until you give an input. It will wait. Once you have given an input, it will fetch it and it will store it into the variable called A. Okay, it is done. Next again it comes here. Okay, system dot out dot println, enter the value of B. It is there. It will display, enter the value of B, and it will wait until you give an input from the keyboard. Once you have given a key input, it will store into the variable called B. Okay, once it is stored into the variable called B, again it will come back to your scopes method. Okay, reading is done, my job is done. Again it will read to the next line. Next line is S1 dot operation. Okay, it will search. S1 have some memory location address. It will move to that location and it will look for the operation method within the scopes class. So again it will search for, it will go to the scopes class. Now again it will find out the operation. It will jump into this operation. There is some work to do here. So whatever your values you have entered for A and B, it will perform the operation and it will store into the sum. Okay, I don't have any next line to perform the operation. Again it will go back to the tester scopes class and again it will wait. Okay, it will check whether I have any other function to work on it. Yes, I have another one function to work on it, which is S1 dot display. Again it will go for the scopes class. It search where it is by display method. Same way. Okay, it will come here. It will perform the operation and again it will go back to the tester scopes class and it will check whether I have any function to work or not, any other line to work or not. If I don't have any other line to work on it, your program terminates there. That's it. Okay. Have you understood how the program flows?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Students, have you understood? Devrat? GT Mohan?
Yes, sir.
Rohit? Srisha? Tejas,
Yes, sir.
Yashaswini KM,
Yes, sir.
Yashaswini S.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now I have saved this tester scope. You have to run only the class where you have main method. You have to run only the method where main method where you have to run only that class. Okay, so I have main method in the tester scope, so I will run this tester scope run. Okay, now I have got enter the value of V. Now I will enter 20. Okay, until you press enter, your program doesn't work. Okay, now if I press 20 enter, then you are going to get enter the value of B. Again I want to enter number, so it is 40. Until I press enter, again your program doesn't work, it stops there itself. Now I'm going to press enter. Now you got a result, sum of two numbers are 60. Is it clear, students, for everyone how to create a function, how to access the methods from the other class using object creation? Students, is it clear for everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now what you should do in this sense? First, in one method, you have to read the variable. So read the two numbers. In one method, you have to perform all the arithmetic operations. In third method, you have to display the results of all the four operations. This is a task now. You have to perform it and you have to you have to post it in the chat box. You have to create three methods. First method should contain to read the numbers. Second method should contain performing the arithmetic operations. Third method should contain displaying of all the four operations result. And you have to create two classes. One class to completely contain only the methods. In second class, you should contain object creation, extracting of the methods, and you have to work on. You have to execute that. Kindly do it and display in the or post it in the chat box. Anusha, have you understood what I have taught till now? Anusha J. Kaushik. Kaushik C. SGT Mohan, say me.
No, sir. No doubt, sir.
If anyone who are working in the live system, you can share your screen. If you ask, sir, I'll show the program, then you can show me. I'll activate your this mail. Anyone are interested? Yes, anyone are interested? Janvi,
Yes, sir. Yes,
are you working in the laptop?
Yes, sir.
You can present your screen, no?
Okay, sir.
Okay, I'll stop my presenting. You can present it. Present it now.
Sir, is the screen sharing visible? Excuse me, sir.
Yes?
Sir, is the screen sharing visible?
Yes, yes. It is visible, ma. It is visible. You can maximize your Eclipse one and you can work on.
No, sir, there'll be some disturbances, so.
Okay, ma. Rakshita, you have posted only half code. Like parentheses are missing after the display function and closing of your class function. May I know how many are working on this code, on this task? Yes, yes. Int by int, you're going to get an int, but check it out with the 7/3. You run your code and you check it out 7/3.
Yes, so integer value.
Yes. Int by int, you're going to get int. Int by float, you're going to get float. Float by float. Sorry, int by int, you're going to get int. Float by float, you get float. Int by float, you'll get a float. Yes. Ashes. Okay, in display it is done here. Okay, okay. Yes, it's correct. His were all posted in the chat box. Everything is correct. Okay, fine. We'll wind up today here and we'll continue in the next class. Don't leave the class.